And welcome back to another episode of Marvel Mad. I'm your host, as always, Dwayne the Captain Coffer, and we have today, for this Madam Webb review, Squirrel Girl Mel and Racoon and Elanor. And say hello.
Hi. Hi.
And we're here to talk about Madam Webb. We've obviously seen it over the last few days, obviously the opening weekend for it. Again, full spoilers as always, so if you've not seen the film, or if you want to see the film but don't want to be spoiled, just go now, sort of thing. So you have your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. I thought it was shit. Absolutely shit. Elanor, what do you think? Elanor and Mel, what do you two think of it?
I liked it.
She's crazy.
I think it was a bit boring at one point. It got quite boring. And if it was on TV, honestly, I probably would skip through it, a little bit of it. But I actually enjoyed it more than I thought. But then I think I went into there, because I weren't very well at all. I went into there like, oh, really not that bothered about watching this movie. Don't really seem that bothered about it. And then it beat my expectations, where I think you two was looking forward to it, and you went in and thought, oh, it's a bit crap.
No,
maybe that's why I liked it a bit better.
Myself, I went into it and I weren't holding much hope, because it was a Sony film. I wasn't holding up much hope for it. And with what I know of Madam Webb, she's always just been this wrinkly old woman in the wheelchair, which we'll get to, and she helps characters and stuff like that sort of thing.
Yeah, but at one point she's got to be young. People don't just be born old.
Yeah, I know that. But the most
story, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I wasn't expecting much, and I went in with it with low expectations. But when we got in there and we saw it, it didn't even come up to my low expectations. It was just really bad for me. Now, Elanor, what do you think?
I hate it. It's horrible.
I think you two are just being marder.
No.
Well, let's talk.
I liked it.
Well, let's talk through them, because I did try to get Jack's opinion on it, because obviously Jack's been and seen it. Jack Aldino from the channel, he's been and seen it on the Madam Webb over the last couple of days as well, and apparently him and his missus did really like it. I've asked for why. I didn't understand why he did. I've asked for his opinion, but I've not been able to get any contact from him to explain why he liked it, sort of thing. But anyway, the story-wise, it was alright. It wasn't. Myself, I'd have rather have seen the origins of the 3 Spider-Women. I'd have rather have seen that and then Madam Webb helping them out that way, sort of thing. Because costumes. I think
that's what it's leaning up to. That's the point. This is about before they got into.
Mel, you've gone. Mel, can't hear you. Hello? There we go. We can hear you now.
This is before that. This is where before they got there.
You're gone. You're gone again.
Leading up. I can hear you.
Right. There'll be technical difficulties in this one because I don't know what the hell's happening over there on their end. Carry on. I can't.
But I think it's leading up to that. That's the point. It's before they got their powers, and her being young, like Madam Webb, and then she's going to look after them up until they get their powers. That's the whole point of it. I think you're just thinking of it straight away as should be old. They already should have the powers and blah blah blah. You've ignored all that backstory.
Right. So taking that into consideration, then, how can you explain how just droll the story was? Because I just did not enjoy the story at all. Like the bad guy as well, Ezekiel Sins in the comics, he's a helper to Spider-Man. He warns about this other villain, which they've basically took this character off and made it him instead of the actual character there is in the comics. Like in the comics, there's a character called Morlin, who's like he goes around finding all the different animal totems and stuff like that, which absorbs them like he was doing in the film. He was absorbing them to make himself youthful, and that's pretty much what he was doing in this film, correct?
Yeah.
So why didn't they just call him Morlin then? Why did they make it Ezekiel Sins? Where Ezekiel Sins, the only time he looked like himself in the comics was when he was old fighting the 3 Spider-Women. That was the only time he looked like he was in the comics.
They haven't got the rights.
Yeah, but they should do because it's Spider-Man. Yeah, but they should do because it's Spider-Man. It's the Spider-Man universe. Sony has the rights for all of them.
Got some of the rights, haven't they? For certain bits.
Only collabing with Spider-Man. That was it.
No, I don't know, but I thought it was good. The only thing I didn't like was what kind of bored me a little bit was where it was her flashbacks kept going backwards and forth, and then it was rewinding the time sort of it. Well, not rewinding, but it's in her mind.
Yeah.
That bit did get a bit boring after so long. After the first couple of times, you're like, oh, for fuck, here we go again. But I thought the ending and that weren't too bad. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to be.
Right, so do you know with them like not flashback bits, but her rewinding time to say, all right, that's what's going to happen and stuff like that sort of thing. Didn't that remind you a bit like Final Destination, especially with the train scene as well? The train scene reminded.
Really. Not really, and I watch all the Final Destinations and I like them. I know. I just like the film. I did like it. I thought it was better than some of the other films that we've watched.
No way, not a chance. So if you compare then, now listen. If you compare then the Marvels to this, which one would you prefer?
The Marvels, I said some of the other films have not.
No. The Marvel. No. I'm not talking. No. I'm not talking about.
Total different thing to what.
No, it's three women Marvel film. No.
A lot better. No, you're not. You're completely.
No. Listen. The 3. Right. So you got the Marvels, yeah. The 3 girl film, yeah. Captain Marvel.
It's different.
How's it different there? Yeah, but how's it different? One's
because it's a woman. Okay.
No.
Because it's 2 women movies. That's what you're pointing.
No. Yeah. So compare it. They're literally the same film.
It's not.
It is.
It's completely different. No, it's not. It's not. It's different. Just because it's just 3 women in it, you can't go, oh, well, because it's 3 women in it, it's the same. That's like saying, well, okay, there's 2 men in one film, so this is the same as another film. You can't do that. It's not the same. I'm saying, look at, for my example, for me, if I went, okay, the second Black Panther film and this film, I prefer this film to Black Panther. Second Black Panther was so boring. I literally could have just fell asleep. To me,
right.
The first one was great. The second one was rubbish.
Right. Okay.
You can't deny that.
Yeah. Okay. With that one, I can sort of see where you're coming from, but
I wanted to watch. If you turn around and said, okay, put all the Marvel films you didn't like, not ones you liked, didn't like, in order, which one would you not watch out of, say, Black Panther 2 or this?
Right,
rather watch this than Black Panther 2.
So what about the Eternals then and Morbius? They're 2 films for me I didn't like at all either.
I haven't watched them.
Oh.
Again.
But anyway, alright, and so what would you say when I was watching it, and I've put the notes down as well now, the costumes for me, the 3 girls' costumes, brilliant. When there was actual Spider-Women, brilliant. I absolutely love them costumes. They look really good, very comic accurate. Again, really, really nice. He never had a costume. So there was no need to have a Spider-Man bad guy costume. Myself, there was no need for it.
I think that's probably more for kids, so that the kids know he's the bad Spider-Man, and also so they can get more merchandise off it. Because let's be honest, we're not getting merchandise, are they, from Disney or no? So
yeah, I can understand that, but again, you just don't need him to have a costume. You'd have him in his business suit, like he did in the comics,
and
have this Morlin quite easily. And I'd like to have this big bad guy and this big.
Because the kids A kid ain't gonna go out. Oh, mummy, I want to buy a suit from the shop so I can look like
Yeah,
him.
but it's not a suit,
Where-
is it? I mean, if you can have a figure, you'd have a figure of him in the suit,
But that's what I'm
and he'd be looking all
No,
menacing.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, when it's got a figure, you could have a suit on them, fine. But if they, for like Halloween, they look at it as merchandise, Halloween and that kind of stuff. A kid ain't gonna go to a shop and buy a suit. Do you see what I'm saying? Where a kid will go, I want to be that bad Spider-Man, mummy. So they'll buy a suit. So for profit-wise, I can see why they did it. It weren't needed for us, but I can see why they did it, if you see what I mean.
Okay. All right.
What do you think?
Yeah, go on, Elanor, please. I need some backup here, something. Come on, please.
Hello. No, wait, how it is.
What do you think? What do you think of the costumes? What did you think of the costumes?
Good, I guess. Not as good as I hoped, but yeah.
What about the bad guy? What do you think of the bad guy?
Oh, I would wear his suit.
See what I'm at my point? That's my point. Kids would wear that costume. It makes them capital off of a movie. Because when you think about it, once a movie's gone on to like Sky Movies and stuff, they don't get as much. Where if they've got suits and stuff to sell, they'll get more money from that. See what I'm trying to say? Kids would go out and buy it.
I would.
That's my point. They would make money from that. Even though we're like, oh, well, in the proper comics and stuff, yeah, there ain't one. And it ain't needed. But kids will go out and buy that, and that makes them more money. They ain't, in all honesty, in one way, they ain't bothered about us, our generation, that's like, oh, well, in the comics it weren't like this. They're more bothered about that generation that wants to go out and buy the toys, the suits, the merchandise. In all honesty.
All right. And so production. I got two questions for you, production-wise. One, do you think they dubbed or did like a voiceover for the bad guy? Because when I was watching the film as well, it seemed like as he was speaking in that gruffy voice, his lips weren't matching up to how he was speaking, and to me that was really off-putting as well.
I didn't notice it.
I did, it was annoying. It was annoying.
I didn't notice it once.
It was frustrating, it was annoying. It wasn't same, it was just frustrating and it was annoying.
So I was trying to watch it with two people moaning in my ear.
No, we didn't moan in your ear and that. Like, you were sat on the other pissing end, so you can't say that crap.
You could lean it over her to talk to me about the movie and moaning about it.
Anyway, got another two questions actually as well. One, the camera cuts for me was so off-putting and disorientating. Like, 1 minute it was like speaking to one character, and just as he was about to say something else, he'd cut to another character, and then he'd cut to another character, and then he'd cut back. I had to physically look away so many times because the camera cuts going all the way over the bleeding plot shop were just so off-putting for me in that lot. And it reminded me.
Agree.
Thank
so
you.
Not so much the camera cuts of him talking to people, but for me it was like her seeing into the future of flashbacky things. That made me a bit dizzy sometimes because you'll be watching it and she'll go back, and then she'll be watching it again, and then it go back, and it's like. That one did do me a little bit.
I say the best looking scenes for me was when she was like intertwining with the web. That was probably the only best scene for me that I really enjoyed. When they was intertwining with the web and everything, it looked really nice and everything like that. All the other the scenes just did not do it for me at all. Not like even that big fight bit at the end of that didn't do it for me. Where she's gone off and helped and all that. I don't know. I can't stand Black Panther. I fell asleep during Black Panther.
The first one I loved.
Yeah, first one brilliant. Second one,
he was like, "We're going to fight." I give up halfway through the fight. You win, but we'll be friends now. Come on, this was much better. At least it was a bit of an action part. fight scenes. I liked it. I did like the fight scene.
I don't know. I really don't know. I can't stand Black Panther myself. The second one, I can't stand it. I fell asleep for it twice. You know that, but it's a real toss-up between these two films, which I can't stand more. Honestly,
it's definitely better than Black Panther 2.
I don't know.
100%
I really don't know.
better than Black Panther 2, and it was better than the fight scene. I can't get over Black Panther 2's fight scene of we're gonna do this major build-up to this major fight, and then okay, forget it. We'll be friends now. Let's go and help each other. It was like, oh, okay, that's a bit crap. Where at least this is a proper fight scene. You're like, oh, come on, when's that letter gonna fall on him? Like, you're waiting for it.
I don't know. Last question then. With the three girls when they was like teenagers and they was like doing teenager sort of things. To me, oh shut up! You know what I mean. For me, it really reminded me of like it was just like a cheap version of the Powerpuff Girls. And it was just really crap. It was just really crap and stupid and cheesy and corny. She's the
like
innocent
that.
one. She's the rebel. She's the mummy's. Oh,
no, it's because he's trying to show that they are very different. Even though they end up working together and they end up being all Spider Women.
The Powerpuff
because
Girls
one of them's. No, because it's showing that they can, even though they're very different, they can still be very the same. And it's like, it's showing that no matter what your background or what your heritage or anything, we're all the same. I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Right, we'll get to the end then. We'll get to the end. Obviously, we've all talked about the fight scene and everything like that sort of thing. The best thing I liked as well at the end was Madam Webb finally being blind. I love that. It's fine. She's in the wheelchair. She looks perfect now. She's perfect in the wheelchair, perfectly blind. That looked really good. I know, but it just...
You're just saying, oh, well, she looks perfect now, but she wasn't always in the wheelchair, and that was what this movie was about, like, before she was in the wheelchair, when she was realising her powers. It's like saying, well, Captain America's now an old man, and he should be an old man. He wasn't always an old man.
I know, but I just couldn't stand it. That was, like I said, the best 5 minutes was when she was in the wheelchair, and that was it. Like, you can't...
I think you've not grasped it. You've not got the idea.
How have I not grasped it?
Because it was before. She was an old woman. Like, eventually you're going to be an old man. You're not an old man all your life, are you? Exactly.
It's going to be old and grey.
No, because you have to have hair to be grey.
Oh, it's gold.
Right, anyway. Yeah, I just couldn't. I did not like it at all. I could easily put this in my bottom 3 because it was just atrocious. No. It's not. I know on this channel.
The worst movie I've watched.
I think Craven.
The worst one I've watched is Black Panther 2.
Well, we'll have a look at.
It's not my top. Nowhere near my top. It's not even my top 10, 15. But it's better than Black Panther 2.
I don't know.
You can't deny it's not as bad as Black Panther 2.
It's a very hard. No,
Did you fall asleep?
No, I didn't fall asleep through this one, but I was very frustrated and very frustrated, very disorientated, very fed up.
But you didn't fall asleep.
There was an ominous groan.
Black Panther 2.
There was an ominous groan there and moan at the end of the film where there was no post-credit scene and nothing to say they're going to return. Was there? It weren't just us moaning at that bit. The whole cinema, even though it weren't packed, the whole cinema moaned at that bit as well.
They weren't moaning. They just went, "Oh, we're waiting to do all that time."
Yeah, but it's still a moan, isn't it? It's not a good moan. It's a bad moan.
It's still moaning.
Yes, thank you, Elanor.
But not all movies do that. And why do we need to? You don't have to have that.
Yeah, but if they was that confident in this team up doing so well, they'd have Madam Webb and the Spider-Women will return or something like that, surely.
Not necessarily, because do you have that at the end of, like, the Hunger Games movies? No.
No.
Do you have it at the end of Destination? No. You know what I mean? It don't always happen. I think you just got so used to it with Marvel. We kind of expect that now.
It is not.
But no, it is, but it's Sony.
Yeah, Sony's universe.
It's Marvel.
It's not the MCU.
Association with Marvel.
Yeah, it's not the MCU. It's Sony's universe.
But it's
Alright,
in the
anyway.
association with Marvel.
Yeah.
I
Right,
don't
anyway.
think it's the worst one we've watched.
It's the worst.
It's the second worst, but it's not the worst.
I
don't think it's the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst.
Right, anyway. Thank you very much for joining us on Marvel Mad. Yes, this is a very heated discussion for Madam Web review. Yeah. Tell us what you thought about the film in the end and see what you think. Just be nice in the comments if there's any arguments or discussions. Just be nice. Say, I couldn't stand it, Elanor couldn't stand it. She did. Even Jack did as well. We'll give us some support. Jack did as well. I don't know whether he's missing.
Girlfriend did.
We don't know. No. All I had was Jack enjoyed it. I didn't see anything about his missus enjoying it. So it was just Jack. So technically it is 2-2.
Mrs. liked it.
Well, we'll have a discussion with him and we'll see what he says. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us on Marvel Mad for this Madam Web review. Like, share, and subscribe as always. Be nice in the comments so don't kill each other. And we'll see you all next time on another episode of Marvel Mad. Thank you very much and goodbye. Say bye bye.